Welcome to Actually Contrøller, the podcast that is actually Contrøller, and we are actually in control of everything you are hearing right now. I'm so very sorry.
Well, not creepy.
It was just kind of surreal.
There
you go.
It was a serendipitous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the word as well. But yeah, we also ended up walking the Vietnam veteran and just memorial.
The fallen, wounded warrior.
And we had not looked at the books
I didn't
that they
look
have set up at the front of both of the trails.
No expectation of anything. Just kind of like, okay, if I see it, I see it.
How many?
I don't know how many panels.
I don't know how many panels.
It was damn near midway through the entire wall.
Yeah,
of it.
And I happened to
30
something like that.
But I happened to just look over. The light hits it just right, and dead serious. So my great uncle Rodney, who's just obviously dead and gone. I'd never heard much about him growing up, just because it was obviously before my time. My grandfather served. He never really talked about him. Even his kids, my uncles, never really talked about him. I just knew the situation that I'd had family that had fallen in many wars. I'm probably actually the only male in my family that never served. Thank you to those who have.
Yes, thank you.
But I look over and dead serious, like I don't know why or how, but I look over and there's his name, Rodney Pearson. Mm-hmm. And I took a step back. I started to tear up, and it was almost like a holy crap. Yeah,
let me steer the right word.
Wasn't what I said. And I literally, breath came out of me. I'm like, I wasn't even really looking.
It was a pause for all of us.
Yeah. I kind of walked away from everybody. I was like, okay, I need a minute.
So did you bring it? Do you tell that to any of the family when you got back?
I mean, actually, I'm kind of exposing it on podcast because I think my mom would probably be taken aback a bit because no one would expect it. My sisters, I'm not sure that they ever really knew my great uncle Rodney. And I barely even knew of him. So it was like one of those, your ancestor did this. So
did that picture make the photo dump?
No, that has not.
So it's in mine.
I think it's on his.
So it'll come out here soon.
But
so trying to give a scale for this is probably 100 yards.
Yeah,
it goes forever.
And about 130 panels, and each panel has obviously at the ends because we recognized it got larger.
Yeah. There was one panel that only had 3 names on it.
I actually have a picture of
on these things. There you go.
It goes through a 30-degree turn as well.
And we randomly stop.
You go down so far.
Never mind the number of names,
but
out of 130 panels or so, randomly stop at the panel.
And
I didn't look at
alphabetized.
And it was right there, eye level.
That's the other thing. They're not alphabetized. From doing a little bit of research, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Comment.
Leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments. But it is in order of when the soldiers were found out about.
Said past, yeah.
So unfortunately, if at the end, because I think we walked at the start at the
I don't know if we started at the end or at the beginning of the thing.
So either
because there's a book at both sides,
right? So potentially, my great uncle was either one of the first to be found or one of the last to be found, depending on how it goes. But it was still very surreal.
I would also like to report when we did make it into the Lincoln Memorial, we did find the super secret hidden room, and I was able to show
that none of us knew.
The super secret. And we got to ride down in a brass elevator.
An old school,
Steve was so ecstatic. He was like, "Children, let's go see."
He had to gather everybody like little field trip kids.
I thought we were all going to die, though.
We went to the Illuminati Club. Thank you, guys. 33 forever.
So, something that, because I've been to, like we discussed in the last episode of this, I've been to D.C. before. I had been to the Lincoln Memorial, but I just went into the main amphitheater area right in front of the statue. That was it. Didn't really wander off into the 2 wings where 2 of his speeches are carved into the wall. Well, off to the 1 wing, there's 1 door that's open during apparently certain hours of operation,
and
it leads to the elevator.
Yeah,
and there is a picture I think that went up though of I think the 4 of you in the elevator already, and Chad is kind of hiding, but Bob's throwing the full crotch out. Chris is kind of just doing a hey. So that was
sober. Don't do that way.
And just so we're clear, I only throw the crotch out because nut sweat's a thing, so you got to get it. Get it air.
I'm calling out. I know I'm the alcoholic of the group. We don't have to. We don't.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, you're sitting next to him.
What are you talking about? I don't resemble that
We're in
remark.
agreement.
I do not resemble.
He resembles
that
the remark. So
is that a challenge? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
is that a
Only
challenge?
if it's beer.
Yeah.
Check it out. So drink 1 drink for every 2 of your beers because that'll be about equivalent because his stuff's going to be stronger.
That's fair.
Well,
he has.
Yeah,
yes.
He only had 2 shots in that big glass. So the reality, though, is I don't think any of us had any clue when we found that elevator that it was going to do anything other than we thought it was just drop you outside.
Yeah, take us downstairs so we can
and
go
then
out.
it opens.
Compliance thing.
Yeah.
Super secret room that has history that you never knew about, and then it's amazing.
Yeah, we open the doors open. It's like, where the hell are we?
To your other point, though, and
yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't with you when you went, said your first time, or whatever. But there was a lot of construction in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, a lot of this, a lot of things were getting renovated for handicap.
Yeah, so
accessible.
that kind of helped funnel traffic. So that made it forcibly you've got to go up into the monument to actually experience it, or be way because I took some faraway pictures. So if I'll photo dump by the end of this week.
If you've ever been to D.C. and the National Mall, you know that the Washington Memorial, or rather the Lincoln Memorial, and the Jefferson Memorial are separated.
Oh yeah, I
by
have full batteries.
The rest
by probably about 3 miles.
Probably
right around.
Hold on.
there.
So I guess.
Are you talking about what we walked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, we walked more than 3 miles.
No.
Dude.
I'm talking about just to the Jefferson Memorial because
That's
I'm
fair.
getting to the scooter part.
Oh.
I want to throw that out there.
So before you get to the scooter part, though, give you guys a chance because there was the reflection pond.
Yeah.
And
there was a
World
World War
was
II
awesome.
memorial.
World
Yes,
War
this
II memorial.
is true. So,
But yeah, I mean, they were both great. I just appreciated the walk through DC with the band. The sights were great, but it was actually the camaraderie was the fun part.
So
Chad discovered the reason why we all took a long pause at the individual states. What was that?
that was the World War
II.
Yeah, the World War II memorial.
I missed that the whole time.
Yeah,
I was so
just
focused
saw
on
stuff.
I was so focused on Dad being distracted. Okay, our tour guide's busy.
So when we got to the
On the phone,
Jefferson
I'm
Memorial, though, my legs were just destroyed, and my body was actually not doing.
By the time we reached the
incredibly well.
Jefferson Memorial, all of us were like,
Yeah.
oh.
So
Physical exhaustion aside, it's 103
Yes,
degrees
it's like
outside.
Well, it was 100.
at
No, it was
night.
104. Here's actual temperature. It was 104 that day. By the time we were there, it got down to the brisk 97.
yeah,
but
with
according
real
to my
feel-
phone, real feel was like 101.
Yes.
101 was like the
with like a
temperature for us.
75% humidity.
Yeah.
So
it was miserable.
by the time we got to the Jefferson Memorial, that was like a 3-mile walk. We're done.
In 100 degree heat.
My body's not doing 100%. Now, if you remember, I had drank a 12-pack the night before. Okay, and we had found all these scooters, much like the ones we had here in Fort Wayne for a while before everybody screwed that up. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway,
yeah.
so we hop on these scooters, and if you know me personally, you know about my whole left arm thing. I don't try to make a big deal about it or what have you. But these scooters have a straight bar, and on a bicycle, I can usually control it because it has like a little bit of lean back, and I can use my shoulders to steer more than I use my arms. Not on this scooter. So I am wobbling my happy ass all the way to the Lincoln Memorial. That was the Lincoln Memorial.
No, we went to
Washington.
Oh, Washington Memorial. That's right. We were coming back. I'm surprised I didn't murder people on the way through. I really did not have an incredible amount of control. I ended up wiping out.
Well, hold on.
I had this. Real quick.
We have to paint the picture though. So paint it correctly and make it epic.
We were going at least 11 miles an hour.
Hey,
At least.
you know what? Again, 104 feel the temperature.
Yes.
11 miles an hour felt wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we all appreciated that.
It was great.
Moment. It was like, oh,
until
this
I
feels so
tried
good.
to take a really tight corner. Okay, so
yeah, that was a super tight corner with the pillars there blocking the walkway.
Yeah, and
there were pedestrians.
I made it past the pedestrians. I did not run over the little child with the gummy bears. Which,
unfortunately,
I know we could have gotten gummy bears.
And the
right?
reason
Yeah.
why he missed it is because while he did bite it, I'm not going to fib.
probably
He
about
did
120
3
degree turn.
backflips
Yeah.
before he finally landed.
3 backflips.
It was
And
damn
it was
near a
pretty
180.
It was
like a 180
Yeah,
turn.
he did 3
No,
backflips
180
with
means he's
a.
turning completely
what-
I know,
backwards.
it damn near a 180.
Probably
Was it a triple
Something like
nut
that.
twisty?
Like
Is that what it
140.
Yeah,
was?
sure.
150. We'll go
At any rate, I did not
Let's
make
negotiate.
the turn. I did not make the turn because 11 miles an hour and like more than a 90-degree turn, it just doesn't work real well. And I
Chad
found
could've
that
done
out
it.
the hard
Chad,
way.
so Chad.
I almost hit the pillar. I
Yeah.
almost bailed.
I know.
Chad was
So-
so Chad that Chad almost chatted it.
But I did catch. And if you're on Patreon, you're going to see this. I did catch the handlebar right above the most important organ in my
That's
entire
right.
body.
He did say that his thigh hurt.
So his
So-
nipples.
Legitimately, no. So I had this.
We're all
bruise.
going like, "Are your hands okay?" We have a show tomorrow.
Yeah, and I
and
don't
multiple
care.
after that.
I don't care because it was literally like centimeters from like my gooch. All right.
Oh, no, he was up in Harpo's. No, he was up in Harpo's. It wasn't.
Not that gooch. My gooch. Okay.
He could be your gooch too. He's Chad's gooch already.
It's like
Wonderful.
it's like the whole handle is so
Almost
close.
went to the hole.
Is so close to the fudge tunnel. I'm about to be Willy Wonka.
Hold on.
Oh, no, don't worry, Wonka is already here.
Hold on. It hit you in the gooch, but I heard the bell ring.
Yeah, hold on.
Quite real.
We're gonna recap that 13 seconds. It hit him in the gooch, and the bell rang so close to his fudge tunnel.
Fudge tunnel. This is true. I was so scared. I was so actually scared because the next morning.
Because here's the thing.
Here's the actually.
Actually, to be honest, to tell the truth, when I went to go take a shower the next morning, and I pull my pants down, and I've got this huge bruise that's like bigger than my hand. That's just enveloping one whole part of my butt cheek and down like my leg.
I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm sorry, bud.
So here I am thinking to myself, this hurts like hell. But we still have to walk the Smithsonian.
Yeah, because we weren't done sightseeing.
And then on top of that evening, Chad brought board games because we're nerds. It was that evening that we
After
got
the
back.
wipeout, we were still walking to the White House.
We walked to the White House, and then we walked all the way back
in the 104 field.
And then when we got back to the hotel, we decided to play My Father's Work, which is a fabulous board game. If you're a board game nerd,
a lot of fun.
you should
Well,
play it.
Chris and I did not.
No,
Chris
no,
and I were
no.
like, it's sleepy time.
We gave
It's
mom
time
and
to do laundry.
dad time to cuddle.
Yeah. No, we were doing laundry, actually.
We're adulting. It's time to do laundry.
So, but we were up until 5 a.m. playing that. Probably closer to 7, honestly.
No, because breakfast hadn't started yet.
Yeah, we finished around 5:30.
And then at 11, we hopped up and went to the Smithsonian.
Yes,
because,
we did.
You know, there's nothing like punishing the crap out of you. So here I am limping around the Smithsonian, worried about my butt cheek. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
By now you at least urinated, so you know.
Dinosaur.
Yeah,
bone.
everything was functioning at that point, but I'm like, my left
Your
butt
gooch is
cheek.
okay?
Well, my left butt cheek is slightly larger than my right butt cheek. You know,
That's just because how he was sitting in the back in a reclined.
No, I mean, like, I'm serious. I had a bit
I'm
of
trying
swelling.
to refrain for some
I had
comments that
a
would
bit
need
of
edited.
swelling happening right on the back end of the cheek, so I was like, my apple bottom is lopsided. My apple bottom is lopsided. I'm like, I still have shows.
You had
to
a
play.
Fuji on one side and a Macintosh on
And that's
the
what
other.
I'm saying. So, and I'm like, is this gonna look weird when we go play?
Was it an apple bottom?
Yeah, he was just saying his apple bottom.
Oh,
My
man.
apple bottom.
I don't listen
Anyway.
half the time. You know this.
I know.
I'm sorry.
After the
I'm sorry. What'd you say,
Smithsonian,
Steve?
though- after Smithsonian, though, we end up in Harrisburg for
No.
another show.
Nope.
No, not
Incorrect.
Harrisburg. Where was it?
Go ahead. Try again. Final answer.
I knew it was in Moonlight. So
Your Moonlight
Yes.
House. Yep.
Moonlight House
In Virginia.
in Virginia.
In Virginia.
Okay, we weren't in Harrisburg.
No, we were in Woodbridge.
Woodbridge.
I'm so sorry.
Woodbridge, Virginia.
And at that point where I will now defer to Bob and his
and his gooch.
You've heard enough now about my strange butt
and his fudge tunnel.
Oh, but
It missed the fudge tunnel. It missed it like by centimeters.
So, Moonlight House was great because it was technically the smallest out of all the venues we played. It was like a big old house party, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We got accolades galore while we were there.
That one was a true DIY. We were in the basement.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so all in all, it was close knit crowd we played for.
Yeah. Oh my God! Every band that played
it was a legit venue.
Yeah,
legit venue. Yeah,
Not
they
just
were
a basement.
Yeah,
they were all moshing. They were all no. It wasn't just a basement. It was in the basement of I don't know. Remember.
Basically of a neighborhood.
It was his house.
Yeah, but the actual venue underneath legit, and
he fully soundproofed, had a full PA setup down there, all the lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
it was
a
nice.
full side stage area.
we even had a projector
signs.
behind us playing
fun.
Samurai Champloo because I was like, hey, let's just throw up Samurai Champloo.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that awkward question. So, what do you guys want up there? I can pull anything from YouTube and put
I
up there
think we all
for you.
just deferred Jeff.
Yeah, it was like Samurai Champloo, anime school.
Yep.
Ninjas.
And then after that show, we ended up heading all the way to Ohio.
Yeah.
That was actually the last big leg of the trip
That was Anchorage.
for the most part.
So
no,
there was
Anchorage.
one more
Or
stop.
Akron.
Two more
No.
shots stopped. There were two
Akron.
more
No,
shots stopped,
that
right?
was Youngstown.
Youngstown, then Akron.
There
I'm
you
sorry,
go.
My bad.
Holy
there were
cow.
two sheet stop. We stopped at one for gas because I'm like, there's an incoming storm. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Get some food, get some gas because we can power through the storm in case it comes, which we avoided.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
Miraculous.
We got it skimmed us just a little bit, but
We
that
got
was
a
the one that went
little
down to
bit of
Blue
rain, but-
Ridge Rock Festival.
Yep.
Yeah, and we got to run into our homies in Cane Hill
Yeah.
on their way out over at Sheets. We were getting food and getting gasoline, and they pulled in. They were headed out to Blue Ridge. I hope they had a great time there. I heard all kinds of horrible, unfortunate things.
They
that
were
went
not heading
down.
to
we
Blue
all
Ridge.
discovered that
I thought they were.
particular
Nope.
turnpike exit we had actually been at the year
On the
before.
last tour.
Yeah, same turnpike exit. That was hilarious to me.
Randomness.
And the best part, though, is last tour we didn't know about sheets yet.
Yeah.
So it's not like last tour we got off there because of the sheets.
No.
We got off there because of Gas Buddy.
Yes.
Yeah, this time was intentional.
So first up would be Youngstown.
Yep, which is great. It was initially took me back because I was like, really, we're playing at a bowling alley?
Dude, that bowling alley.
But it was epic. It really was. We played downstairs, which completely filled out. The stage was nice. It was a great setup. Plenty of room for a good crowd.
We got to meet V, the sound guy there. It was very cool.
It all in all, it was
bar.
just, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the owner came in and we talked with us. He was really very cool cat.
The largest green room I have ever seen in my
gosh. Oh, I
entire
know.
life.
Yeah. There was
Well,
like
okay, so they admitted that-
6 couches.
They
in
admitted
there.
that bands will sometimes. Apparently, there's a shower somewhere.
Yeah,
which I
and they
haven't
stay.
discovered.
I didn't see the shower.
Right,
but
Apparently, some bands stay there.
I
Yeah.
think maybe they were
Underground type.
emphasizing a shower, but weren't saying where.
because they didn't want us to use it.
Yeah.
Or they were
offered us
or they were
stay a couple
emphasizing a
times.
Yeah, it
shower.
was our- it
and
was our
like,
green room.
Hey,
Yeah.
wink, wink.
I'm not getting the wink. thing, Sorry.
I don't get that either. Not at the bowling alley.
We don't live in that fantasy.
No, I mean, some people dig it.
Some people dig it. Some
saying the
people
guy
dig
that's
it.
saying it.
Just saying there's
No.
one person
Hey.
that's
No,
getting
go.
it. Wink,
no,
wink.
Hey.
that's only when I wet myself.
Aw.
But yeah, they had bunk beds in there. There was at least like 4 couches and like 5 chairs that were in
I
there.
did see a
Bunk
TV.
Yeah, a bunk bed. No,
I
the
wasn't laying
funniest
on that bunk
couch
bed.
though was the one that Chris went
my-
to sit
My fat ass.
I don't think either of you were in. I think you were both upstairs on the patio at this
Yeah.
point. We're getting ready. Actually, you may have been down there. Yeah, Bob
He
was down
showed
there.
me.
We were both getting changed.
Look at
Hey,
this.
I was sitting on one couch doing. I can't even remember what. Just putting on getting my gear ready, and then I got up to move to put my contacts in.
Yep.
Where there was a table and another couch, so I could use my phone as a mirror. And I went to sit down on the second couch, and I went from this nice, firm, like semi-springy.
There was
like,
no springs left
nothing.
under it.
I almost folded like an accordion.
I know you
And
did.
if
I
you've
almost
ever
peed
been-
myself.
If you've ever sat in an office chair and leaned back, and it just drops on you, and you feel like you're going to fall, but it obviously doesn't. That was that moment where I sat down and I just
he almost went V shape.
So just to throw weirdness in here, Poet the band just liked our cover photo.
Aw.
Oh, what's
Nice.
What's our cover photo?
Thank you, Poet. Hopefully, actually, this upcoming run we'll be crossing paths again, and maybe we can do something this upcoming run.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was talking to Kevin that we were talking about next year's tour, he said that they might be in the general vicinities around the same time, so might be able to hook up with those guys down.
That'd be
Nice,
great.
that'd be great.
They were fun to play with.
But our next stop was Akron.
Yes.
And played the Buzzbin. The
Buzzbin was a lot of fun.
was a lot of fun. The owner, was it Julie or Julia?
I think
Julia.
Julia. She's amazing people. They moved the Buzzbin from, wasn't it Columbus?
No, Canton.
Canton.
Yep.
Canton to Akron. So she's kind of getting things up and off the ground.
They dealt with like a loss of their liquor license for a short while.
She's kind of been through it. So if actually anybody who is traveling to Akron, go show them some love. Great place, great people. A lot
Good
of fun
vibe.
to play there. Just overall good vibe.
You got a whole outside patio area where you can just wander out with your beer. and-
with a pretty pavilion. It was
Yep.
really nice.
It's a gazebo.
Yeah.
It's kind of stuck right in the center of everything too. So
Yep.
it's
Dude, it had an awesome looking indoor skate park right across the street.
They did.
Oh,
actually.
I forgot about that.
And we and Chad, it was you and I that met that chick that couldn't parallel park.
Yeah.
So she's like, I think you did a good job. You did great. You made it. Didn't hit nothing.
It took her only like 2 attempts, really.
Oh, that's
two
not
and a
bad.
half.
No.
2.5.
2.5.
no.
Yeah, she struggled the first attempt. Like
Had she
kept
turned
trying,
it into
kept
like
trying,
a
kept trying.
30-point turn, then yeah, it's bad.
And then she pulled out and got in and was like perfect.
Yeah, she made it. She did it.
So the day after that, unless there's more you want to add.
No,
Well, don't forget what happened before the show at Akron, though.
What's that?
We almost didn't make the show at Akron because we had a zombie.
Because we had this individual over
A sick
here,
Chris.
a sick Chris, who needed about 13 hours of sleep to feel human again.
16 hours to leave him the hell alone.
Yep.
I still love the stumble into the bathroom and then coming out
We-
stretching like nothing was wrong.
We almost called it off because we were
He
afraid
did a
that we were gonna
complete
kill
Superman change.
it. Yep. And like,
He just tapped the forearm.
That's why I referenced it.
so
Yeah,
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I was like, come on, give Patreon
moment
something
number
here, bud.
2 right there.
we had originally meant to stop
Give
off
Patreon
and
questions.
play up at the Diesel Lounge on the way back in, and that was going to be our last stop. But we ended up hooking up and getting a show later on then at Harpo's.
Well, you're missing
Missed
a
one.
show
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
before that.
Yeah, you're missing Jackson, dude.
Oh, Jackson.
Three-
Yeah,
308.
which is
Don't
which is
worry about
ironically
Jackson.
a brass rail.
308
Yeah,
brass
it was
rail.
brass
Which a lot of, to my knowledge, didn't some of our people think we were going to be back in Fort Wayne?
I was just about to
Brass
say
rail
that. That
here?
led to a lot of confusion.
Like, oh, you guys are playing the brass rail? Oh, we'll be there.
So
yeah,
This is
yeah.
the land of
We were
confusion.
up in Michigan.
Mhm.
And we played there. Fabulous. It was a double set. It was really good. Everybody there was really nice to us.
The opening band was a lot of fun, and giving them the opportunity during our break
To just
for them
play.
to have fun with the
Yeah.
electric and the full kit.
No, they did well.
Yeah.
They did really well.
I have to call out though.
yes.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
These guys don't have social media, and several times Bob tried to encourage people to go find them on
Check them
social
out on
media.
social media.
Yeah.
First of all,
He didn't
check out their
know.
Facebook.
I didn't know.
Wait. First of all, second of all, third of all, and
It made
and
for a
just saying.
good. It made for a good joke.
And,
It was.
and then fourth of all,
And then
Patreon moment.
Because I even joked with them when
Steve's
they were
gonna
on
learn how to put
stage
the little
initially.
black strip across.
Not on
Just
Patreon.
censor it.
That they're paying for the content.
Yep.
They get
Can
it
we just
all.
find a workaround for Bob? Dang it!
Oh, sweet. So hand motions.
Oh, no. Censor that too.
Can't censor that.
Get the little weird boxes.
Patreon.
So if I do it
Patreon
fast enough
pays
where
for
there's
it.
wind, do you have to censor that?
No, that probably looked blurry on the
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Probably does.
Hashtag.
But yeah, we were at
But
we
wait,
were at
he's
308.
inaccurate. Hold on. It'd be more like this.
Patreon moment.
Just saying, if you've seen me with my pants down, I mean,
we were on tour.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay,
Intimate
I'm
moments.
sorry your feelings are hurt.
Oh my god.
Yes, I was subjected to that.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I'm pale.
I'm blind.
I'm pale. He said.
we were.
It's like a lightsaber.
Yeah, we were in Jackson, finishing up the straight run
the
through.
consecutive run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jackson was really good. The food was delicious.
The food was
Yeah,
alright.
actually, the food
we
was
were
really
wondering
good.
because we didn't hear any feedback from you guys on that. So we
Yeah,
just
the
assumed
food
it
was
okay.
the food was really good. I really enjoyed
Ours
it.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a taco salad. It was all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
were
bet you did that night.
all incredibly.
Your lady came all the way just to come see you and surprise you.
That was a long ride
yeah,
home.
you had a taco
That
salad.
actually had some worries on the drive home.
Yeah. Oh, so on our way home, we're driving
Oh yeah.
back from Michigan, and we see
Because
Chad.
we were only about an hour and a half away from home.
Yeah,
in
so
Jackson.
we were like, we're gonna go home and sleep in our own beds.
Yeah.
And Chad, he helped us load up, and then because his lady decided to come see
My
us,
lady and my daughter.
and his daughter
And her boyfriend.
and his daughter's boyfriend, they all came up north to watch us, and they hopped on 3 and started right. It was 3, right?
No, they were on 69.
69. My bad. Anyway, as we're rolling back through, we see a passenger van, different color, but it's dark, and it's like incredibly wrecked off the side of it. It flipped. It looked like it's
Along with
destroyed
another vehicle.
with another vehicle, and so immediately I'm like, "Hey, hit up Chad." Because I couldn't get a good
It
enough
looked
look.
silver, but they were in a white one and going past fast with the dark. It's like
It's
maybe-
hard
So we
to
were-
say.
we were
The
behind
accident
them.
had already happened.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We were rolling up. We saw some emergency vehicles. Like it had really just
Yeah.
Yeah.
just transpired. So all this made logical sense to all
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
Because, you guys had already rolled out about 15 minutes ahead of us.
Yeah.
And we stop at a pilot, and there's a guy that had pulled aside who had a horse trailer that had thrown a tire.
Yeah, so for everybody who's not aware, in the northern Midwest area, we got a truck stop called Pilot. Well, Pilot also happens to have roadside mechanics for semis, bigger trucks, stuff like that, that if you happen to have Pilot service, you can call them up, hey, I got a problem, I'm at this mile marker,
Right.
come meet me. Well, apparently a trailer had thrown a tire and had gone so far that he had actually fused the rim
To the
the actual axle.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I saw when it started to spark.
Yeah.
And so my consideration is perhaps that tire
Mhm.
might have been the something that took
Caused
out,
that accident.
because we're talking pitch black road on I-69 in the middle of no man's land in between major cities. So
No, but they send me a text and
And he's passed out.
I had dozed off in the back of the van.
Yeah.
So it took me a few minutes to wake up, see the text.
We're all in the car. Text back. Just
Come on,
text back.
come on,
Just
man.
text
Come
back.
It better not be Chad.
Son
It
of a
better
Text
not be
back. I
Chad.
swear to God, if you got into I'm never letting you out of my sight again. You're not allowed to go play with your friends ever again.
it felt like that. It did. And then he finally texts like 2 minutes later, like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, all good.
I bet that was a long 2 minutes.
Yeah, it
That
was.
was the longest.
That's what I
2
keep
minutes.
telling them, but they just say it's still 2 minutes.
Like, no, we were there
It was
for
not
like
2 minutes.
20.
Was it really?
It
Yeah.
was only
Yeah, it
2
was only
minutes.
like
It felt
2-3
more like
minutes.
15.
It was like
Yeah, I know it
20
felt.
minutes.
I know what it
That's
felt
what
like.
you want them to think.
It
It, like
feel
is that it feels more like
'Cause we're just
15.
like holding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep running the joke.
That's the
I don't
thing with
care.
instant gratification on text messaging. Like somebody texts and you're like, okay, I texted you like an hour ago. It was like 3 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
I was super proud of my body. We got back on the 10th. My birthday was on the 14th. I turned 46 and promptly got sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were trying to
Ergo, we're
plan to
recapping
do a
again.
full podcast episode. And
Okay, so here's the looking this up. I received the text at 12:47 a.m.
Oh no.
Are you guys okay? Just past bad accident. At 12:48, I respond.
It's a minute.
1 minute.
So wait,
20
in between
minutes.
a minute and 2, it didn't quite make 2
In
minutes.
between a minute and 20.
We were almost 2 minutes. You shut up.
In
right.
between-
Your phone don't know it. It was almost 2
longest-
minutes.
1 minute 55 seconds
The
still counts as 2 minutes.
7 seconds of our lives.
Yeah. Text back. Text back. Text back. Text
Oh,
back.
dude,
text back,
I'm
text
sure
back.
I'm sure the tension was there.
You're not playing with your friends ever again if you don't text back right now.
So yeah, we got back home. I started to feel kind of gross. It was like 2 days later, I felt really gross. Then my birthday came and I felt the grossest. But I am now 46, so be proud of me.
We did have the trailer on load, so the episode that you just saw was from that day. Actually, the following morning we were up unloading the trailer, getting all the gear out, getting suitcases out, any of the other stuff and everything like that. So that wasn't technically, though, the last day of the tour, because originally we were going to be in Detroit on the 10th. A whole bunch of happenstance happened.
Discuss the final date together here.
Yeah.
Yep. And then that's where we ended up at Harpo.
Yeah. We were supposed to be in Detroit on the 10th. That didn't happen, so it got postponed to the 23rd.
The 23rd at Harpo's, and thank you guys at Harpo's
Oh, dude.
so much. That was such
that
wonderful
venue
stage to play.
alone was just
You could just
amazing
feel
to
the
walk
nostalgia.
around.
Yeah.
And smell it.
I was waiting for that
Well,
one.
the smell was only like side stage, backstage,
Yeah, true.
and on stage.
Can we say
about
something?
smelling anything? I said you could feel the nostalgia. What are you talking?
Could you can I say something about the Travolta frickin' dance floor, man?
Yeah, that's
Oh, that
Dude,
was-
that
It's like Studio 54.
Yeah.
It was so
Well, the owner of the
awesome.
place
Yeah, we
actually
got a
showed
private
us
tour
his
of his
disco
office.
shoes
Yeah.
and like one of his old disco shirts.
That was the legit stage that
It used
that
to be a
was-
movie theater.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it used to be a movie theater called Harper.
Yeah.
So you can see that, and it's really nice. You walk. There's like 2 doors to go in. There was the old-fashioned ticket booth.
It had
Yeah,
a box
with the
office.
turnstile.
Box office. Yep.
Yep.
It had it had a press box sitting right there too, and I was like, "Who the hell still has an old style press box?"
They do.
And
An
the
old movie theater that they had in
school-
Gutted.
Old school concession stand right inside the lobby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd go through those doors, and there was an area that ended up being dedicated for merch.
Yes.
And I can imagine that's where you would have like separate screenings or whatever.
Oh, and if you're ever there, right within that first door, just turn around and look up, because all along the top they have photos
Those
of
laminates.
everybody that has.
Well, not
played
everybody,
there.
but I mean,
Like, oh,
that's
crap,
how
though.
many. They
Yeah.
can't even fit everybody. That's
Yeah.
played
I actually
there
found
before.
a second photo of Deftones while
Yes.
I was looking.
Yep,
It's
I saw
like,
two
man,
of 'em.
Deftones got their picture up twice.
Yeah,
Yep.
they got their picture up twice. I saw that the Coal Chamber was there.
Oh yeah.
And that
walking
didn't even
over to the
include the list of the bands that was on
the back.
sheet
In the
that was
back.
in the backstage
Yeah.
area. That
Which-
they stopped grabbing names in 1990
I-
because of White Zombie.
I
Rating on
I
it.
took a picture of it because it's like the fact that White Zombie wrote in White Zombie on the glass of that.
1996, right?
1992.
92, right?
Yeah,
right.
92.
Like White Zombie is like, well, I'm not on this list, so I'm just going to sign right here on the glass.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? That's
What a privilege to play that stage. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I wasn't joking when I put up the post of this is a bucket list venue of the I know the names that have come through here, and to be able to knock this one out of the bucket list.
yeah, I'd heard of it when we landed that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's got some clout.
Well, like,
and it was
even-
really a showcase.
Yes.
Even like some of the old death metal bands that I used to jam to, 6 Feet Under,
Overkill.
Deicide,
They were there, yeah.
like their pictures were on the wall. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah. Missile Sepultura was there. I was
Yep.
like, wow, that's crazy.
Soulfly had their pickup.
Yep.
Realizing that I'm about to walk on this stage, I mean, like playing the $1 Million Stage at Pierre's had that same feel
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
a while. But then you realize that it went one step further.
Yo, we were in
doing it at Harpo's.
We were in Detroit. All right, we were in Motor City. We were in
Yes.
Rock City, Detroit, and we got to play on Heart. I am beside myself. Like, it is a bucket list thing. It is like a huge deal. So thank you.
A huge
so much.
tall stage and a huge deal.
Yeah. So thank you so much. That was incredible, and I will never forget that.
Yeah, for me, so for those who don't know, I was born and raised in Detroit. That's my home turf and everything. So for the longest time, we have played burbs of Detroit, but we've not actually played Detroit. So for me, we've been doing this band for almost 12 years now. I'm like, we got to get actually into Detroit.
Just once.
Come on, man. Just one to, and then to have it be not just that we got into Detroit, but that we actually were at one of the biggest venues that Detroit's ever hosted. I'm like, okay. So yes, it happened to be more of a showcase than your standard show and everything like that.
We were playing mainly to the house.
Away from that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
that's an in.
It
wasn't just like we're gonna one and done, and like we played a show. And, like that's an in.
We made connections.
No, this was a showcase show. This was trying to rub elbows with the people that are important.
And we did, and it was fabulous.
Brian Rudaway, if you happen to watch this episode, thank you so much for the invite up there.
Absolutely.
Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully, we did a good enough job that you're wanting us back up there again here in the not too distant future. We would love to come back up.
Absolutely.
So.
The only thing for me that one, it was again, it was so humid. So humid.
And Detroit drivers, what is your problem?
You just don't know how to drive around them.
I didn't have any problem.
Oh my gosh!
You just got to know how to drive around.
And the other thing was,
I'm just going to start.
I got to remember
hitting
like
bumpers,
Tom 1,
like
Tom 2, Tom 3, and not jack that up. So
what do you mean it's all messed up?
You know what's funny is
your side, Chris.
My bad.
Like I
That's the
think
difference between setting it up on one side of the drum set and flipping around.
Was that the second time we got to use the box on the tour?
No. That would have been
third or fourth.
Time.
That would have been the fourth
Time. Yeah.
One. Well,
because there was the we could use it at the brass.
We didn't use my loop very
we used it at
often,
the
though. I
brass
remember
rail.
that.
We used it at
Like twice.
AJ's. We used it in Fort Wayne.
Yep.
So we used it at Fort Wayne. We used it at Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We used it in. There was one other spot that we used it in.
We used it at the Buzzbin.
Yeah, we did use it at the Buzzbin.
Yeah, we used it at Buzzbin. So yeah, that would have been the. Where was the fourth? Where was the other one?
Pierre's.
Well, that's what I was saying. We had Fort Wayne, we had Glasgow, we had Buzzbin, and
we did not use it in Jackson.
We didn't use it in Jackson.
Yeah, we had it out, but due to the way that everything was going, it was just
going down the stairs with it. That's right.
Well, no. That was in Youngstown.
Oh.
But we brought it into the
Jackson
brass. We brought it
was
into the 308 brass rail.
Yeah, we brought it into 308, but we didn't use it.
That's right.
But yeah, that would have been a little under half of the tour we used it on.
No, and that was great. That was great. It was
actually, the sound guy that ran was a newer sound guy, and he came up to me and goes, "That's kind of a cool little setup you got there." And I'm like, yeah, it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah,
you don't have to drag around.
That was the thing at Harpo's. Like I felt like, and no disrespect to the other bands, but like you can see an evolution of gear for us, and for me as a drummer, like I got the idea from Freak on a Leash, the Korn tribute Mike, who has all of his stuff pre-triggered and pre-staged. Like I'm like, I should do that.
Yeah.
So I built a loom and I pre-mic'd all my drums, and all I had to do was set it up, and I could set my stuff quicker.
Tom 3.
Tear down quicker.
Yes.
Tom 3.
Yeah, Tom 3.
Tom 3.
It was Tom 2 that I screwed up.
Oh, Tom 3.
I got the 4 Tom correct. It was 1 and 2 that I flipped.
Oh, my bad.
But anyway, I makes it a better setup. But the box.
Well, and then I will say that the part that they had at Harpo's that I wish.
Which Tom was it, Jeff?
Every venue had this option for. So they had their stage box set up with all of their mics already going and everything. However, they happen to have a setup to where they have a disconnection on their stage box.
Right.
So their 30-pin cable can immediately get pulled off of that stage box and plugged into a completely separate stage box.
Yep.
So instead of him unplugging all of his mics, all of his tails and everything, he
pulled
literally just grabbed another box, plugged it into his 30-pin cable, and slapped us in. So as soon as we were done, he unplugged his 30-pin cable, plugged it back into the other one.
So something gear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I play drums.
So if every venue we rolled into I knew was going to have the same style as Snake, I'd say, screw it, let's buy a stage box. We can just plug in. You plug your 30-pin in and call it a day. Mm-hmm. But that's not the way it works. So
right, where do you want? Where you want this, or where you want that?
They have had so many tours. They just never know what they're going to roll with.
Yeah.
So they were prepared for whatever happened that night.
But yeah, it was a huge stage. The lighting, that was the hottest show.
Power cans. It's like getting cooked. Like, have you ever been to a buffet and you go over and you go to
put your arm underneath
the meat section, right? And you look, and it's like it looks juicy, but really it's dried out. That's what happens to every rock star on that stage. They
you
look
ever wonder
juicy.
why they look like leather bags?
They look.
It's
juicy.
all the par cans from back in the day.
Yeah, it's not the drugs and alcohol.
No.
It's-
They
it's
look
stage
juicy
lights.
while they're on stage, but as soon as you get them down, you're like, wow, you're all dried out. And they're
So
like,
the drugs and alcohol was just the preseason.
It really
yeah,
was.
that's the salt and pepper.
That's the salt and pepper, baby.
But yeah,
That's how you get ready.
it was a big, tall, very like nostalgic stage.
And we want to do it again.
So what do we have going forward? We're really tapping out on this time.
Yeah, so this
Jeff-
is definitely
Jeff
a
has
part
his
1
new-
and 2, just for
Jeff
everybody.
has his new porn career he's starting.
That's fair. I don't think they want to hear about that.
No.
But anyway,
No,
But
we're having out on time, so we
we have the King 810 show coming up
Yes.
here in town at Pierre's.
I was thinking more in terms of like the upcoming EPs.
Well, I know that,
the
but
March, if March is transpiring.
yes, so we have the King 810 show coming up here at the end of October.
Yes.
That is where we're ending the show stuff, though, for
the
us
year.
for
the year.
2023.
Yeah.
Because we have a whole bunch of stuff that's still going in the background. Vocals are getting finished recording here hopefully soon for not one, but 2 more EPs coming up next
and
year.
everything's staged to be ready. We're just scheduling
You
time
think
to go
something
in and
will
get
be
it
ready
done.
before January? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
No.
possibly.
Dang.
Because the hope is for that to be in connection to the tour
What?
that we will
Say
be
tour.
I mean,
that we'll be doing next year. We're going to be doing an earlier tour, though.
here we'll talk about that next time. Though.
Yeah,
we
fair.
will talk
Some
about that.
big thing
So
happening
come check us
In
out
the southwest.
right here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come check us out right here.
All
Right
I'm
here?
going to say in connection to that tour, it gets cold around here in March, so we're going someplace where it ain't as cold.
And with
West.
that, catch us on our next episode. We love your guts.
All right, love your
Thank you so
faces.
much for
Later.
Sorry, so very sorry.
Thank you for listening to Actually Controller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/controller33 or scan the QR code if you are watching the video version of this episode. Thank you.